Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin with Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you so much for logging on, tuning in, Googling, searching, clicking, whatever you did to get here. Thank you. Now, one more thing, hit subscribe. The little bell, get notified whenever we've got a new artist, author, filmmaker, musician, creative mind here on the show. Right now, we are in St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest city in America.
Love it.
We are hanging out with award-winning, best-selling author Samantha A. Cole. Don't forget the A. Trust me on this. Samantha A. Cole, the author of Tough Enough and
Leather and Lace.
other books, including, what do we have here?
Leather and Lace.
Leather and Lace.
And The Road to Solace.
And The Road to I was distracted. He's a very good-looking man. Don't judge. And Road to Solace.
And this is the award-winning book.
And this is the award-winning book.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll start with award-winning. We'll start over here with the award-winning book. What award?
It won the 2017 Reader's Favorites Award, silver medal for contemporary romance suspense.
Contemporary romance suspense. Okay.
And it was out of 1,100 entries, and it took second place, so I was very happy with that.
Not a bad day.
No,
All in
not
all,
a bad
that's
day.
a pretty good day. Readers can be finicky.
Very finicky.
They
Very
can
finicky.
be. One day they love you, the next day they're like, what?
If you kill off a favorite character, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Total misery on you.
There you go. Okay, so give us the book blurb on this. What is Road to Solace?
The Road to Solace, I live in New York, and I was driving upstate and
Y'all
passing.
didn't know that, did you?
I have the New York accent,
There
and
you
it's
go.
hard to miss. And I drove past the Brotherhood Winery, and all of a sudden I had this whole character come into my head that is a modern-day friar, and he walks in on another friar molesting a child, accidentally kills him, and instead of letting the child testify, he goes to prison. And this is all happening in the first chapter, so it's not giving away anything.
That's chapter
That's
one.
chapter one. And then when he comes out, he's traveling the U.S. and looking for where he fits in now. He's no longer in the Brotherhood, and he ends up on a widow's ranch, and she's trying to save the ranch for her children. And he starts working for her, and they develop a romance. And it was so different from the other books my readers have read, with an alpha male that's taking control of everything, saving the world.
This is a guy that has lost control right up front.
Right up front,
And
and his last sexual experience was when he was 19, before he decided to go into the Brotherhood
Wow.
and started celibacy, and here she is a widow. So it's him falling in love for the very first time and her having a second chance at love.
Wow.
So I was very nervous about giving it to my readers because it was so different from my other books. And they loved it, and I couldn't have been happier for it.
Well, now, is it you were very nervous about getting it to your readers? They're used to something a little different from you.
Yes,
okay?
it was very different from what they were used to from me.
Whenever a writer veers off
Right.
from what the norm is, there's a driving force there. What about this story got into your head? This guy was in the back of your head, he's begging to get out.
Right.
And something that day you said, I'm going to let him out.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him off the chain and see where he goes.
And by the time I got to my destination, I had about 3/4 of the storyline in my book, in my head, ready to go.
That's awesome.
So writing it after that, it just flew down onto
Just
the
felt
computer.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And
Wow.
and I gave it to my beta readers, and I said, okay, this is really, really different from what you're used to from me. You have to be honest with me. What are my readers going to say? And they came back and they said, do it. We loved it. Do it. They're going to love it. And
any art form, music, art, visual arts, okay, and writing,
yeah,
it is a temptation for an artist to find what we're good at
yes,
and ride that niche.
yes,
But there's that moment when something in the back of your mind is it's time to take a chance. It's
Yes.
time to create something new.
Yes,
But that's a frightening moment.
it is. It's a very scary moment.
When you were taking that to your beta readers, what got you through that moment when you're that frightening moment of, okay, I'm so far out of my wheelhouse right now,
Right.
that but I feel I gotta do it. So what pushed you into that? Over that, was there any kind of something that you did for
the
confidence?
characters just felt so strong to me and so real to me
Uh-huh.
that I was like, okay, if I'm hoping they're gonna like it, and I really do hope they're gonna like it, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do if they don't like it. I was so scared for that moment, and
So this is that guy. He's not gonna sit in the back of your head. He wants out.
No, he wants out, and he's already down on the paper, and I don't know how any other way to write him than the way I did write him. And when they came back to me and they were thrilled with it, they said your readers are going to flip over him. And I have so many people that have come back to me and said, out of all your books, this is the one I love the most.
This is the one.
And it has nothing to do with any of my series, and it's a complete standalone, and it blew me away. And then when it won the award, I had completely forgotten I had entered the contest, entered the awards, and I had completely forgotten about that. I got an email one day, and I'm like, "What the heck is this about?" And I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
That is awesome. That's a good day.
It blew me away.
Okay, that's all by itself.
Yep.
Okay, how about this guy over here?
Okay, Leather and Lace is the first book in my Trident Security series.
Trident Security series. Okay.
And it has 11 books in the original series right now, and has spawned 4 spin-off series.
Wow.
So right now there's about 21 books related to the original series.
Oh, wow.
It is a lot of suspense. I'm a retired police officer, so I need suspense in my books. It just doesn't happen.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's what I read. It's what I write.
Yep.
So it's 1/3 romance, 1/3 suspense, and it does have a BDSM background, but it's not overpowering. It's not. A lot of my readers had never read BDSM before, and they like how I introduced it.
BDSM
and
light.
I didn't shove it down their throats. And it, I broke it up with the suspense, and your serial killers, your drug dealers, and stuff like that. So it was light.
The regular stuff.
Yeah, the regular stuff. The stuff that we all live with.
Yeah,
So,
wow. 21 books in this.
21 books with the original and the spin-offs.
Okay.
So
what number is this guy?
this is number 1. This is the one that
number
started.
one.
This is the book that started everything.
Okay.
So
you got a lot going on in here.
yeah.
Okay. What was the inspiration to kick this off?
Well,
I would ask you what readers were thinking, but there's no point because it's 21 books. They like it.
Yes, they do love it. And everybody's got their favorite alpha, their favorite book, their favorite character. And it's such a wide variety that I laugh because everyone's like, Devin's my
This one's
this one's my favorite. This one's my
yeah.
favorite. So I laugh because everyone comes up and tells me it's somebody different.
It's a different one, yeah.
But I had originally tried writing back in 2011.
Okay.
I was recovering from knee surgeries. I got into a bad car accident when I was working. And I started writing, and I made the mistake of letting my family and friends read the book. And while the storyline was good, my writing sucked. I did
This happens. If you took a writer and asked them for their first work, published or unpublished, chances are it is nowhere near the work they're doing right now.
Absolutely not.
Because
Absolutely
we
not.
learn.
Yes.
And you know what? It's a good idea. If you're a writer and you're trying to get started, dive in, write what you can write, and suck.
Yep.
Because you're going to learn so much for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
it's worth it to go out on a
Right.
limb. But
And I made the mistake and let them read it, so nobody wanted to tell me that the writing sucked.
you're not good at this.
Yeah. And I finally figured out on my own that I'm not good at this. And
Apparently,
I actually,
you are good at it. You just didn't have the skill yet.
at the time. So
Yeah.
I actually put it aside for 4 years. And then I had Devin and his 5 Navy SEAL buddies, and they would not get out of my head. And this went on for several months, and I could not stop. And finally, I had Devin's story pretty much written in my head. And I was walking my dogs one day, and he's like, "You have to go back and start writing the story. I'm not going to let up." And if for people that do write, they will tell you their characters talk to them all the time, and mine do too. And
Annoyingly so. By the way.
annoyingly, yes, very annoyingly so. So I went back and I actually wrote 85,000 words in 1 week, which I could not do again to save my life.
Wow.
But the story had been
That's
already
a
written.
push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I still did everything wrong, but I went and found out about beta readers. I hooked up with several. One of them hooked me up with an independent author that already had some books published, and I owe my career to her. And
No writer out there, by the way, there's no such thing as just a writer. Writers rewrite.
yes,
And rewrite.
Absolutely.
And rewrite. Sometimes to a beta reader's specs,
Yes.
sometimes to an editor's demands.
yes,
Sometimes you just go back and you read it and you go, you know what, that doesn't sound as true to me now as it did then.
yeah,
But you're always rewriting.
yeah,
And it was George Lucas who said, art is never finished, it's abandoned.
right.
But before we abandon these, it's 2 or 3 or 4 shots
Yes.
through. Even at 30,000 words, 40,000 words, it's still going to be a slog. It's
Right.
a job.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm a total pantser. I don't plot out my books at
Bam.
all.
Yeah.
I write, and all of a sudden, as I'm writing, I have a character walking in. I'm like, who the heck are you? And that's happened to me many times. And so just to go back as I'm writing further along in the book, I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't work from the second chapter, so now I got to go back, rewrite that second chapter, and then continue on.
Yep.
So you're right, it is
It's
constantly
a constant
updating.
process.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to put some links down below so that you can find Samantha A. Cole online, and you can find Tough Enough, you can find The Road to Solace, you can find the entire, there are 21 of these guys, leather and lace. We're going to let those links go down below. In the meantime, we're going to say thank you to our great partners and friends, Something Unique Magazine, Famous Faces and Funny, Space Coast Comics and Indie Originals, J. Bauer Art, Celestial Healings, Krypton Radio, the Foxwood Wine Company in Melbourne, Florida, and our great friend, author Yvonne Mason over at Off the Chain Radio. Thank you guys for sharing these videos, sharing these creative artists all over the World Wide Web. We hope that you will too. Remember, subscribe, log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next.